Welcome to She's All In, the podcast for ambitious women ready to elevate their lives. Brought to you by the She Wins community. This show dives into all things self-development, women's empowerment, wealth building, and manifesting success. Join us for engaging conversations with inspiring guests, real talk on unlocking your limitless potential, embracing your purpose, and creating the life you deserve. Whether you're a CEO, a mom, a dreamer, or simply on your journey to greatness, She's All In is your space to grow, connect, and thrive. Let's step into our power, ladies, and win together, one episode at a time. Welcome back, y'all, to She's All In podcast, season 3.
Hey.
I'm
Hey,
here
everyone.
with Mel
Hey, y'all.
and Erica.
Hey.
So, guys, we have a special treat for you today. Erica is going to be hosting our podcast today.
Oh, my God.
So, as you all know, this is the season of She Has Arrived, the season of expression. And this week, today's topic is really powerful. Faith over fear, movement over waiting. And how many times have you felt like you were being pulled forward, but then your fear and your second guessing is kind of like pulling you back?
Yeah.
And you're waiting until the perfect time to make a bold move.
Yes. Yeah.
Right? So
Far too often.
yes. And this episode is your reminder that fear delays, but faith accelerates you. Right? And the moment is not later, it's now. If you've been equipped, you've been called and anointed, and for this exact season. So this episode, we're going to get into it. All right, Erica.
Okay, everyone. All right. I'm Erica, author and entrepreneur. And I know everyone looks at fear as something negative and scary, and I did too. But to me, honestly, fear is motivation. It's a motivation to change. You may not know what you need to change in the moment, but you have to trust yourself. Yeah. And then the faith will come.
Yeah. Exactly.
As you believe in yourself. And for me, I probably have a lot of moments where I have been scared, but I'm very confident in myself, genuine in what I do. But a time I was really scared was, I think, when I graduated from high school. I've always been around my family. I have, I'm the older sister. I have a lot of responsibilities, with my mom, sisters, just my family in general. But I decided to choose a college that was over an hour away. I knew my mother didn't drive on the interstate like that. I knew I was going to be alone. I could have chosen Howard, ODU, but VCU was my choice. And I did that for me, to give myself the distance and make me be as independent, bold, and powerful as I am today, because it made me be with no one. I didn't like that, but it shaped me and helped me be the woman I am today.
Yeah.
And I was able to get out and attempt and do multiple things. I had to, down to everything. I had to learn on my own. I bought my own first car. I did everything, so it taught me how to be resourceful. That's why I really love helping people, starting from scratch, whatever needs to be done, I know how to figure it out. Because that was something I really had to just make that move. Yeah. And then after I graduated, I just stayed. Yeah. I could have went back, but no, I stayed, and I'm still here without any of my, biological family. Exactly. So that's a bold move.
You still here making bold moves.
Yeah, so that was powerful for me.
Stepped into your business. I didn't
go back. Yeah, I didn't go back. Yeah. I could have went back, but I didn't. Instead, you kind of got to put yourself in a position, and it makes you work harder. It makes you just be more stable, and set yourself up. Yeah.
So I do have a question. So I know Erica told us her moments where she stepped out in confidence and in faith. So Mel, is it a time where you felt like God was pulling you forward, but that your fear and your second guessing was pulling you back?
Yeah.
I sure do. And actually, it's kind of with the business I'm in now.
Mm-hmm.
So I used to be, and this is not to say that, you all should always pray for God's will and plan over your life.
Right.
We always need direction.
Mm-hmm.
And we always want to make sure that we are on a right path. None of us intentionally is like, let me go down the wrong path.
Right.
We want to pray. But then sometimes I feel like we do get caught up in the over asking of signs.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because there's a lack of self-trust there.
Yeah.
And that's what happened with me. When I first started my business in May 2024, before I started, I was constantly in a cycle of wanting confirmation, wanting signs, signs. I kept asking, right? And a lot of the times when we're constantly asking for confirmation and signs, it's really we asking because we want God to tell us you're not going to fall flat on your face.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it's like that's what we really want. But sometimes God is just like, no, you got to trust me. Like, you have a desire. And sometimes the desire that you have for more, the desire you have for that business, the desire you have for a better life, sometimes all you need, sometimes the answer is the desire. You have a desire, and you have to move in that faith and move in that trust and know that you ain't gonna have all the big picture right now. You're just not gonna have it. And so sometimes we get slip into this path of where we're constantly avoiding the thing that we want to do because we want to say we want the assurance that I'm not going to fail. And nothing's really failure. It builds you. It's lessons.
Right.
And so I was constantly like lagging on starting my business, asking for a sign. And finally, the sign didn't come. Now I asked to see a ladybug. Okay, that's what I asked. I asked God, let me see a ladybug if this is you, if I should take this step. And the reason why I asked for a ladybug is because I don't need to see 111-555-888-777. I see them things. I need to know this is you.
Right.
And I asked to see a ladybug, and I dreamed a ladybug, and I say, well, I ain't say dream. I said I need to see.
Yeah.
Right.
But 2 days after I asked, I dreamed a ladybug. So I'm like, God, well, I said I want to see a ladybug. But I was like, you know what, Mel, you gotta take the step. Like, if you praying about it this hard, something in you really wants to start this. You just gotta do it. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna start my business. And I started my business. And after I started my business, 3 weeks later, when I was on the way to a Memorial Day cookout, leaving under the driveway, what flew on my car windshield?
A ladybug.
And that was God, like, stop playing with me.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just, it's faith over fear.
Exactly.
You have to move. You have to take the move.
Yes.
You have to know that I'm with you always. I'm going to give you the answers. I'm going to give you the clarity. I'm going to give you the steps you take. It's going to be in pieces, but I just feel like he intentionally showed me after to be saying, now, come on here, girl.
Yeah.
So that was personally for me, for a story for me. Yeah.
What about you, Keisha?
Okay, so for me, I was, in the beginning when I first stepped out into opening my business and starting my brand, I was afraid of failure. I was, I think with dealing with women and providing a service, it's just like, okay, in the back of my mind, it's like, am I going to be good enough? Or is this person going to like what I design? Or, this, that, and the third. So it was just really like, I was really afraid of failure. Yeah. But then also I was afraid of this thing. You know how you get so excited about doing something, it's like it just keeps coming back to you. So it was just like, okay, like I don't know what I'm supposed to do at this point. And at that time when I first started out in business, I didn't have the guidance. I didn't have the education. I had the support, but I still kind of stepped out on faith. But it took me a while to like really step out on faith. So when I first did it, I was navigating my business on my own. I opened up a boutique on Hall Street. I didn't have no idea of what I was doing, but I knew what I wanted to do. And I kept saying to myself, I don't know, it's going to happen. Something is going to work. Something is going to happen for me. But throughout that time of me not knowing, I learned so many lessons, everything is figure-outable. I know that it's not a word, but I'm going to say it. Everything is figure-outable. You know what I mean? So it's plenty of times where not knowing has really sat me down for a minute.
Yeah.
But as I sat down, God is just like, I have so much in store for you. You know what I mean? Like, this is not the end for you. I really need to sit you down for a second to kind of rebuild you, to pour into you, you know, so you can think about things, think things through. So when I did do that, I finally stood up, you know what I mean? And I came back with a whole different mindset, a different way of thinking of things. You know, it's just like, okay, now I know this is my calling. Now I know this is what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to move in this direction. But sometimes when God gives us a vision and a gift, and it feel like it's so much for us, you're just like, okay, God, what am I supposed to do with this? What am I supposed to do with this? Like, I'm trying to be obedient and move in the direction that you're pulling me into, but it's just like sometimes when it's given to you and it's dropped in your lap, you're trying to figure out, like, what am I supposed to do with this? But like you said, a couple of podcasts ago, man, I remember you were saying, sometimes we just need to start.
Yeah.
We just need to do. We just need to show up. We need to move. And so once I started moving in the direction that God needed me to move in, doors started opening. God started placing the right people in my life that's educating me, that's pouring into me as I pour out into other people. So it's just like faith over fear always. And when you move out of faith, it's like so many doors open and God will continue to elevate you.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So
and I feel like a lot of us, or a lot of times, we confuse spiritual waiting with emotional avoidance.
Yeah.
You know, and so sometimes we'll be like, well, I'm waiting on God. I'm waiting on God. I'm waiting. That's our thing to say.
Yeah.
Because it sounds like, oh, yeah, I'm being spiritual. You know?
No.
But really, what happens is we're stuck in overthinking, fear, and false preparation.
Yeah.
And what I have learned, for me, my personal definition of fear is the memory of pain. Sometimes we're scared because deep down in our subconscious, or deep down, you know, in our body, we remember a time where it didn't go like we wanted.
Yeah.
Didn't work out. You know, we did the thing and we got hurt. We experienced some type of pain or trauma. And so sometimes when we go along in the future, it prevents us from taking the step we really want to take.
Exactly.
Deep down, because we're living in the memory of pain.
Yes.
And that's what fear is sometimes. So, but you just got to move.
Yeah, and I feel like sometimes fear reminds you, and I wrote these notes down, I feel like fear will most definitely tell you you're not ready, yet you don't have enough, and what if you fail? And I think the most out of all, I feel people are afraid of failure. And I don't look at it as failure. You can't really look at it as failure. You got to look at it like, this is an opportunity for you to do it right.
Yeah, but I think, like I said, for me, fear is a motivator.
Yeah.
So for me, it's more about mindset.
Yes.
So I think, you know, at this time in my life, or just in general as we grow up, you got to shift your mindset. It starts with your mind. Because if you look at fear as the normal definition, of course you're going to be scared.
Exactly.
But if you look at it differently, it's like, okay, so what's next? You know, or what do I need to do to get forward?
Exactly.
You know, it's just gonna make you adjust, change, and you know, be open to learn. That's how I look at it. As long as you're open to learn, you'll be fine. But I think anything that come is like, it's not a loss, it's a lesson. You know, and then just learn and move forward. If it's meant to be, it will be. If not, it won't.
Exactly.
And that's just, you know, what it is. But I think, you know, just putting yourself out there. And like I said, when I put myself out there, I have not been back. I've been in Richmond since 2004. Yeah, so I haven't been back, you know, and I'm still, you know, here with no, you know, biological family. So, you know, and doors open for me all the time. It's just like, I gotta get organized. So, you know, at this time, you know, I'm still making moves because, you know, when you're genuine and you believe in yourself, things are going to keep coming. You're going to have to keep readjusting.
Exactly. Because I do believe faith moves even when you don't see the full picture.
Absolutely.
It'll make you move.
Exactly. But when you hold on to fear, it freezes you. You know what I'm saying? But if you let faith flow through your life, through your blood, just in your mindset, I feel like you're going to win.
Yeah, you got to be honest with yourself about like, okay, I know I can do this. Maybe. You know, you're going to go back and forth. That's how I was like, okay, first of all, I don't drive. You know, like, I don't drive when I came to VCU, but it was so funny because me and my friend, neither one of us had a car when we first got here. She drove, but she didn't have her car at first. But it's so funny. Like, I was, very social in school and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And, in high school, they do the superlatives and stuff. And I didn't care about that stuff as much, but I got best all around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I was just, I guess, adaptable, and can, maneuver in certain situations. But when I got to school, I did not drive, but it was so funny. And he's a good friend. And I haven't talked to him in a while, but he was very nice to me and my friend when we got to school. Him and a group of other guys, he let us use his car. Mm-hmm. He gave us his car, like he'd let us drop him off, and he would let us use his car to go get our groceries and everything, We like shoes and clothes, go shopping and stuff. It was just really nice. So it was like, it was a huge step because still you in a foreign place. Right. You don't know people, but just trusting yourself and, putting yourself out there.
Yes.
Yep, you meet and then you meet people like I met. Good people that I still am connected with
to this day.
To this day. Yep, and who, helped me be more bold.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
in moves I make now.
So let's talk about the cost of waiting. Mm. The cost of waiting.
Yeah, I mean, waiting you can miss out on opportunities.
Yeah,
I feel like in waiting, to me, I'm an overthinker. At times, I'm trying to get out of that. But waiting leads to overthinking.
It does.
So if you're going to talk yourself out of it, you're going to this, you're going to that. So me, I'm more impulsive sometimes. Mm-hmm. And that's why I don't use the calendar and stuff as much. But I'm about to start. But I say that every week. I do use it a little bit more each week. But
right.
I like to try to live in the moment because my life is so busy. But it's hard for me to do that because of being busy. But,
right.
Waiting will cause you to overthink.
Exactly.
You will overthink yourself out of what you really want to do.
Yeah.
And I have a scripture for the cost of waiting.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. It's from Ecclesiastes 11:4.
Oh, my God. I got that, too. I got that, too.
You want to say it?
Go ahead. I'm going to let you go.
It says, and whoever watches the wind will not plant.
Yep.
Whoever looks at the clouds will not reap. If you keep waiting for perfect timing, you're never going to move, which means that it causes delays.
Yes.
A lot of the times we are stuck in this cycle of constantly praying for more or wanting to experience or have more, but we are our own delay.
Yep.
We are our own delay because
Absolutely.
we're watching the wind. The wind planting. Okay, we're looking at the clouds.
Yes.
When we ain't reaping nothing. So we are delayed. We're delaying what is already supposed to be mandated for us. Mm-hmm. But you know.
Yes, because listen, we wrote down the same thing because I honestly believe waiting often feels safe, but like Erica said, it can be costly.
It's costly.
Yeah, it can be costly because it's like you have what you need. You have your purpose. God has already given you your why.
In your head.
Yes. So it's just like go ahead and make that bold move.
And it's like move on your last instruction. Don't ask for more revelation until you obey what he already gave you in the first place.
Yes, yes. And
everything happens for a reason.
Yes, it does.
Yes.
Even if you don't know what it is.
Yep. And when you feel, and I feel like when you keep waiting for the perfect moment, you miss opportunities, you delay your blessings, you postpone growth.
Yes, you do.
You know what I mean? You're going to be so stagnant. And it's just like, we're not in a season of being stagnant. We're in a season of blooming. We're in a season of moving in our purpose, tapping into our whys. Like, that's just what we're here for. Yes. That's crazy how we wrote that on the same thing. Because, when I was talking, it just popped up in my head. And I was just like, no, this is scripture.
Yeah. Yep, I was like, I'm gonna pull me a scripture right now. Yep.
No, this is scripture. So
every time, and I remember this is another example. Even when I worked at my last 9 to 5, I was constantly, we get again stuck in these cycles of asking God, should I?
Yep.
And I remember. This was a few years ago, so this was I was a little bit more immature in my faith and things like that. But I remember I asked God, should I take this job? Should I do this? Should I do that? Should I leave this? And I was on the highway one day, and while I was on the highway, it was a billboard, and the billboard said, "What if I fail?" But then under that, it said, "But my darling, what if you fly?"
That part.
I just always kept that with me.
Mm-hmm.
We are constantly asking, what if we fail? What if it's not going to work out? What if this? What if that? But Spirit is saying, but what if you fly?
What if you fly?
You gonna
listen.
fly. What if you fly?
Yes.
You know, and ever since then, that's when I was like, you know what? That was a whole revelation and a lesson. Like, I have to learn to trust more.
Mm-hmm.
To self-trust.
Absolutely.
You know, and to trust God. So, yeah.
Yes. And I feel like it's, you know, it's time for us to fly. Like, this is the season of she has arrived. This is the season of she has arrived. And it's so crazy because it's just like, I'm so excited. Like I said in the last podcast, I'm so excited about this season because we did so much in our last 6 weeks of our last podcasting of just really planting our seeds, investing in ourselves, showing up and doing the work. So it was just now it's time for us to really show up and be heard.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
And our last podcast was I Am.
Yes.
I
am.
Yes, I am. So it's just like we really are tapping in. And it's faith over fear. And it's just how we have to move and operate.
Yep.
It's how we have to move and operate. So, ladies.
I enjoyed
it.
Another good successful podcast.
Yes. Thank you, Erica.
No problem.
So, this week I want you to choose faith over fear and to just move with boldness. Okay, don't wait, don't overthink. I really want you to move with boldness. And I do have something I want you to write down. And write down, the moment is now. I no longer wait, I walk in faith. Okay, I no longer wait, I walk in faith. And if you're a part of the She Wins community, post your faith move in our group so we can cheer you on, and also comment under our podcast.
Yes.
Yep.
All right, y'all. So thank y'all so much for tuning in.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.